Welcome back, everyone. This is MandoAllDay, back to another video. And in this video, I'll be doing an overview of Superman, the statue. This is the Superman for tomorrow. I'll be talking about the statue itself in terms of the sculpture design, paint, and of course, if it's worth your purchase or not. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not only support the channel, but to keep up to date and watch videos like this. So let's take a look at the box. In front of the box looks like this side, the back, which I really like this art. The other side, top, and a bottom. Alright, now let's take a look at the statue outside the box. As always, it do come with a card. This is the front of the card looks like. The back of the card. It comes with no accessories, but it does come with a huge stand, like always with these statues, and that's pretty much it. And of course, the actual part right here, you can actually have it floating, but that's pretty much it. Now let's talk about the statue itself. All right, so in terms of the articulation, well, there's none. So I know with some of these statues, they do come with some articulation, not a whole lot, which I'll show in a bit. But for the particular statue for Superman, there is no articulation. So that's that. All right, now let's talk about the statue itself. The head sculpture looks good. I do like the chin on here. Looks very, look at that really thick jawline. The paint on his cheek, the lips as well too, his eyes, eyebrows. The only thing I'm kind of like, it's going to be that nose. I don't know, something about that nose is just not bad. It's just kind of, I don't know, maybe it's a little too small. Maybe it's just me, but kind of reminds me a little bit of Michael Jackson. Not to be mean or anything. I'm not hating on it, but yeah, something about the nose. So it's not a big deal. It's just something that for me. The hair sculpture looks good. I like that painted hair on there. You got that dark blue, a little bit of purple, and of course blacks. And again, more of the painting here on the cheek, the ear right there. And so the head sculpture design looks good. Apart from me nitpicking on terms of the nose, but I gotta say though, the head sculpture looks good. Very detailed, and of course the painted eyes, the eyebrows, the paint job is fantastic. Sculpture design looks good. So overall, starting off very well. In terms of the arm sculpture design, very muscle tone. Just look at those big old bicep and tricep, his shoulders too. And the cool thing is you can actually see the bicep, not bicep, the vein on there. You can see that a little bit. Yeah, you can see that right there perfectly. You see that vein, it goes here to the forearm. And of course, you can see the vein on there on his hand. And the sculpture design on the arm looks really massive, very buff. But the paint job, even though it's usually, when it comes to Superman like figures, it's very plain looking in terms of paint. It's just blue. But the statue though, I actually like it because, I don't know if my camera can pick it up, but you can see the shadowing right here. So it's like the light blue right here, or the blue right here, and then the shadowing right here. Again, that's all painted on there. And my camera's not picking it up. It makes it seem like it's all sculptured, and it kind of is. But it's the paint, though, that makes it pop. You can see the definition with that shadow paint. And it looks really good. Especially when you see it up close and personal. To see that shadow paint, it just looks really good. Same thing here. You can see right here, that shadow paint. It looks really good. When you look at a certain angle, it just makes the shoulders and arms, the muscles just pop even more. You got more vein here on his right arm. Vein right here on his hand. You can see that. Very masculine. And of course, you got the Superman logo. Now, usually when it comes to Superman with McFarlane, it's usually the body paint is like regular blue, and yet the Superman logo is like glossy. This is the opposite. The paint is actually, the blue paint is actually kind of glossy and shiny, but yet the Superman logo is going to be like that matte color. So you got that red on there, and of course, you have underneath. So, but it is matte though. But nothing wrong with it though. I actually like that balance because everything else all shine very nicely. But yet the Superman logo is matte, but it looks really good. Very defined texture to it too. And just look at those abdomens. Just look at those huge abdomens. And again, the shadow paint just looks really good. You got more of the paint on here on the upper chest. Again, looks fantastic, man. Very buffed Superman. Just look at that. And look at that pose too. Just looks really good. I'm really liking this statue. Looks fantastic. Wow, look at that. Look at that chest though. Come on. he definitely does bench press like the motherfucker. But overall, though, the upper body looks great. The face sculpture design is good, except for the nose, but that's just my preference. But everything else, the head sculpture design, the paint job looks fantastic. And of course, the upper body, huge muscle tone, definitely defined muscle. You get the veins on there. And of course, just the shadow paint, the paint itself just looks fantastic. Let's take a look at the lower body. And there is no articulation, but let's talk about the paint and sculpture design. And again, similar to the upper body, the lower body has the same thing. Very defined muscles on the legs. And of course, again, more of that shadow. You see that right here? You have like a light blue on here with a little bit of white, but yet a little bit dark blue on here. Very subtle, but it looks really good. And when you look at it at a certain angle, you can see the muscle definition. Look at that. That looks really, look at this right here. Just super massive. Unfortunately, mine did come chipped here on the paint. It was almost a perfect statue, but and here too as well. Oh, I don't know if I guess here. Paint chip right there and there. I may contact McFarlane. I don't think so. It's just I don't know. I may contact them, see what they say, but man, apart from that issue though, it is a fantastic statue. You get the boot on there. The boot's plain looking, but it has that matte look to it, which is fine. No glossy, which is okay because everything else nice and shiny, but this is just regular like matte paint, which looks fine though. But again, look at the definition of the shadow, the paint just looks fantastic, man. Then you got the underwear and of course the belt, more chip paint. Oof. Man, I got screwed over with this statue, man. McFarlane must hate me or something because, man, so far the three recent statues have been chipped. This one, the other Batman from Michael Keaton, the masked version, and the unmasked version. So I'm kind of getting screwed here by McFarlane. So apart from that, though, the paint chip, though, looks really, really, really good, man. Very massive. Then you got, of course, the cape. Very stylized cape. The cape has similar paint that's on the legs, also on the cape as well, too. And again, very stylized. So you can see that. Looks really, really, really good. There's no really sculpture design. Well, there is some sculpture. I guess you can say this is a sculpture design, but there's like no texture, I should say. Let me clarify that. So there's no texture to the Superman cape, but which is fine though because this is going to be your point of view. It just looks really, really, really good, man. I love this statue. So of course, the main question is it worth it? Should you go out and get the statue? So for $40. I think for $40, you're getting a good statue for Superman. The detail in it is fantastic. The sculpture itself looks good. In terms of the paint, it looks fantastic. Unfortunately, mine did come damaged. Again, that's just mine, but I'm pretty sure, and I'm hoping so, knock on wood, that if you do order one, yours is perfectly fine. But apart from that, though, is it worth the purchase price of $40? I think for $40, you get a good-looking statue, and I think for $40, it's a fair price. It's not like, oh my god, you have to get it type of thing. It's one of those like, okay, it's fine. Okay, $40 for this statue, it's fine, I'll take it. For me, this was like $35. I think that would be much better. Price point, I know it's $5, but you know what? Nowadays, $5 is $5. So $40, I would say, if it was $35, okay, I can kind of see that. Of course, if it was $30, heck yeah. But regardless of the price, though, I love this statue, and it looks amazing. Very defined, very detailed. The paint job, just everything about it looks great, man. So, overall, the Superman statue by Todd McFarlane gets a thumbs up for me. Here we have the Black Adam statue from the Black Adam movie wave. This is a DC Direct statue, and of course, Superman one. Man, I would love to see Black Adam go up against Superman in the movie, but it is what it is, though. But this statue is really good, very textured, really good sculpture design. And right now, this statue is going for, I think last time I saw it for like $15 on Amazon. So for the price of $15, even $20, like come on, for $20, if it is going that on sale, because again, last time I checked it was 15, so it might have gone up a little bit. But even if you get it for 20 or 25, for a statue like this, come on. You have to admit, it's a good looking statue. But, of course, if you were to ask me which one do I prefer, I'm going to go for the Superman. No offense to Rock. I like your sculpture design. I like the suit, but this Superman, the comic book version of Superman, just looks really, really good. And I like this one more than this one. Again, I like this statue too, but if I had to choose one, I'm going to go for the Superman one. Here we have Flash, the Flash movie wave statue by Todd McFarlane. I don't think it's a gold label. I think this is a regular one. And of course, Superman. Man, what an amazing race. Imagine seeing this in the new upcoming DCU event or story. Flash versus Superman finally having the race that we all want to see. Who's fastest or who's faster? When you wishful thinking, you never know. Maybe James Gunn can create such kind of story or event where it's a Flash versus Superman. Who's going to be the fastest man alive? But regardless, though, just wanted to show you how these two statues look side by side. I like this pose. I think having a pose like this for Flash looks good. When I heard about the Flash statue, I actually thought it was going to be just him standing, but it's actually him running, and he does have accessories, the lightning bolts, which looks pretty cool. It gives it an extra effect, and it just looks fucking cool. But nonetheless, so here we have Superman and, of course, Flash. Here we have Batman from the Hush storyline, and, of course, Superman. Now, I did mention about the articulation. I say this because this statue does have articulation very, very limited. I mean, very, very limited. But you can actually articulate the head, just swivel it left or right. You can see that, so you can look to the right, left, or obviously middle. Not a whole lot, but there's something. So I was hoping maybe this statue may have that, but it doesn't. So it's just that, though. But just showing you how these two godlike beings, per se, look standing next to each other. They both look fantastic. Really, really like it. And no, I'm not going to answer the question which one do I prefer, because I like them both and I wouldn't be able to choose one. I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but I'm going to be real because I really like both of these and they both look really, really good. But nonetheless, so here we have Superman next to Batman from the Hush story. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with me on the statue? To plan to purchase the statue, leave it in the comment section below. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button to not only support the channel, but to keep up to date on watch videos like this. This includes an overview of Superman for tomorrow's statue, and on to the next one.